Hello, this is Ron Paul with your weekly update for Monday, December 28th. Each year, more than $1 trillion goes up in smoke. More accurately, it is stolen from the middle and working classes and shipped off to the 1%. I'm talking about the massive yearly bill to maintain the U.S. empire. Washington's warmongers have sold the lie that the military budget has been gutted under President Obama, but even when the Sequester was in effect, military spending continued to increase. Only the pace of increase was reduced, not actual spending. None of this $1 trillion taken from us is spent to keep us safe, despite what politicians say. In fact, this great ripoff actually makes us less safe and more vulnerable to a terrorist attack, thanks to resentment overseas at our intervention and the blowback it produces. The money is spent to maintain existing conflicts and to create new areas of conflict overseas that in turn feeds the demands for more military spending. It is an endless cycle of theft and deceit. Billions were spent not long ago overthrowing an elected government in Ukraine and provoking Russia. A new Cold War is a bonanza for the military-industrial complex, the pro-war think tanks, and the politicians. NATO is on the move in Eastern Europe, placing heavy weapons right on Russia's border and then blaming the Russians when they complain about the rising militarism. NATO military exercises on Russia's border have increased and become more confrontational. In the Middle East, more billions have been spent attempting to overthrow the secular government of Syria over the past 5 years. The big winners in this grand scheme have been the Islamist extremists who are funded directly and indirectly by the U.S. and its allies. NATO is planning to go back into Libya, an admission that its 2011 liberation of that country has been a disaster. In Asia, the U.S. empire challenges and provokes China, sending military ships and aircraft into territory China claims in the South China Sea. How much will they continue to escalate before China gets fed up? The more money sent to the Pentagon and other parts of the Washington war apparatus, the more danger we're in. Meanwhile, almost all of the presidential candidates promise more military spending and more war if they are elected. Did no one tell them we are broke and making enemies fast with our interventions? Do they think Fed-created money will really continue to fuel the U.S. empire indefinitely? What are the prospects for a U-turn toward peace and prosperity in 2016? We must be realistic. Presently, the numbers are not on our side, but the good news is we do not need a majority to succeed in our fight for peace and liberty. We need only a dedicated and uncompromising critical mass to make great headways. What can we do to work for peace in 2016? First, we must tune out the lying propaganda served up to us by the U.S. mainstream media. We must educate ourselves so that we can help educate others. We can be sure to tune in and support alternative sources of news and analysis like the Ron Paul Liberty Report, LouRockwell.com, Antiwar.com, and many others. We can tell others about the wealth of truth available to those who seek and question. We must not compromise and never accept the lesser of two evils. If the people demand peace, the politicians will follow. Let's demand peace in 2016.